Hey, today I'm gonna show you how I do character design in Blender and what I use for that. And a little disclaimer, it's absolutely free. So yeah, okay, let's start. So first thing you do is you go to this 3D website and you go here, get started for free. Then you just register your account and yeah. Okay, now inside this, go here, go to smart content, go to figures. Select Genesis 8 since if you haven't purchased anything, then all you will have is Genesis 8 and it's totally fine, just go there. Then go to figures, load female or male character. They kind of fixed it in Genesis 9, but what I would recommend if you're just starting out is Genesis 8 anyways. So okay, let's load female version of Genesis 8. Okay, now we have our character inside this. Here's our outliner and here's our parameters. All you need to do now is go to parameters and then all the sliders is basically like seams. You can tweak them out as you wish, and that's my custom made character. If you ever played Sims, you know how it is. It can take you up to like 1-2 days to set up your character, so it's basically the same thing. You just tweak the sliders all day long and then you'll get something like this, if that's the aesthetic you are going for. And then what you do is go to poses, and I have a lot of content. That's basically all of this content I've bought on the web. You can download some, you can buy some, it depends on the creator of the content, but there's a lot of websites you can get this content. So yeah, all you need to do now, in case you don't have any content, as you probably will, you go to Genesis 8 Starter Essentials, and here you'll have some poses. So let's select something not too crazy. Let's select, I don't know, this one. And it's totally fine for us at the moment. What you can do is you can go to Window, Panel, Steps. Then you can go to Power Pose, this thing. And then you just dock it in here. And then you go to Power Pose, then you press that this head controls, and that's why I recommended to use Genesis 8, because Genesis 9 and Genesis 8.1, if you're familiar with this, they don't have those parameters, but those parameters are like time savers, so I would definitely suggest you to go with Genesis 8. So okay, here what you can do is you can like lower the eyes a bit, change maybe the look direction, and maybe tweak some of the shapes here to give here some personality. And once you're done with all of those things, you go to File, you go to Export, you select your folder, let's name it something like Elf, and then you select Wavefront OBJ as a format, and then you press Save, and yeah, let's replace it. And here what you need to do is just copy paste my parameters, because some of those will not make sense for you just yet. So just copy and paste them, and it will take some time depending on your model. And then you go to Blender, you delete the cube, and you go to File, Import, Wavefront OBJ. If you're using Blender 3.3, I would suggest to go with Wavefront OBJ Legacy, because I'm not sure how to use Wavefront OBJ like new one, so just go with Legacy. And then you select your file, whatever you saved it. Important thing here is what you need to do is select Split by Object and Split by Group, and then you press Import. Now we have our model inside Blender. It's that easy. All you need to do now is, for example, create new collection, put all of these parts into new collection, and name it figure or something. And okay, now it's inside collection, and that's cool. All you need to do now is select ears, face, lips and eye socket. It's a little thing here, but you can just find it here in the outliner and select it here, eye socket. And then you just press Ctrl J on your keyboard, and now we have this face as one object. Why we need to do that is because this face, ears and lips, all of them have the same UV layout, so we don't really need to have like them separated. Okay, and the next thing is what we need to do is select cornea, eye moisture, Genesis 8 female eyelashes, and eye moisture, and do the same thing, Ctrl J. And why do we need to do this also is because those things are gonna be transparent, and we will put just one shader for them. It's gonna be glass with low IOR. and I'm gonna show you this just in a sec. Okay, I assume you would like to go here, just select cycles, and for example select GPU compute and then press render. But it doesn't look cool, it doesn't look great, and it doesn't matter if you have HDRI or not, it will not look good just now. What you need to do is you need to set up your custom shader for all the skin materials and all that. And before we do that, I must say I have a Patreon page where I post a lot of different tutorials, for example for Cinema 4D and for Blender, and like in-depth tutorials, how to do that, how to do this, and all of those cool things. I also have a lot of free resources you can use in your personal or commercial projects, so don't hesitate to check out my Patreon page, maybe you'll find some cool things there, and that's the best way to support me. Okay, let's drag this thing in and let's select shader editor for this side. By the way, let's go to world, let's go with environment texture, let's put environment texture in here. Okay, let's move Z-axis just a bit because I don't really like how it's looking right now. Okay, let's change it to something else. By the way, if you don't want to set up your camera just yet, and as I've said in my previous video, you should have like a narrow focal length to have your portrait really appealing and cool looking. All you need to do is go to this small arrow here or press N on your keyboard and then go to view, and here you can select focal length. For example, let's press 85. Our preview mode will be in 85mm as well, so now we don't need to be worried too much about the camera placement. And yeah, let's uncheck all of those things because we don't need them. We don't need this viewport to do too much. So okay, a lot of people having troubles with these white eyes. Why is this happening? We actually have textures for the irises at the moment, but we cannot see them because of this eye moisture thing we merged together. And as I've said, you need to apply glass material to them. Or what you can do is go to your transmission parameter and just raise it up, and as you can see it works right away. But I would suggest to go with glass because it's much easier and we won't be doing too much with eye moisture thing anyways. And as you can see it's still white. Why is that? Is because we still haven't polygroups. Even though we have material, we just have it on eye moisture part of this mesh. So all you need to do is just delete all of the unnecessary materials and just leave it with one material which we just created, and IOR just put it on something like 0.1.1, and that's cool already. That's how it should be. Let's dig into this skin shader. I'm gonna show you each part of it. So basically we start with principal BSDF, just copy all of the parameters here, and by the way for the specular you don't need specular on 2, you better be having it on 0.5. And if you go in for something a bit more like surreal, then you can go higher. And as you can see, if we just go to full right, it will just let us to go to 1. But if we manually type something, it will just go higher than that. But yeah, 0.5 if you're after some realism. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Basically, it's just a diffuse with some color correction. Then we have our diffuse, but with this trusty color correction that's basically creates this subterraneous layer. And you can just copy all of these parameters and connect it to subsurface color and it will work. But if you don't know where those textures are, those are basically just those textures you already have. And to find them, you just go to your desk. And inside this you load any character you want. You can just reopen the same one you've done with me. And then you go to your model, select it in your outliner, then go to surface and select it here, open this arrow, then go to surfaces, open this arrow once again, go to arms for example, press this texture, go to browse and you will open the folder, the destination folder where all of your bump, diffuse, roughness maps are. So that's the easiest way to find them. Then all you need to do is just dock it in your finder and you'll have it all the time. Okay, for the map setup it's just basic PBR material. You do all the basic things here and you can just copy my parameters. you can just copy this thing, just screenshot it and copy it. And I also have displacement, and sometimes you don't have displacement. It doesn't really matter if you have it or if you don't. It will just give you a bit more details sometimes, but it doesn't really matter. As I've said, you can just have your bump and it will do just fine. But if you want to activate your displacement, all you need to do is go to settings, material properties, settings, and here in the surface you need to check displacement and bump. Not only bump, but displacement and bump. And that's basically it for the skin shader. And if you want to go more like latex skin, you can increase subsurface. If you want to go more like surreal skin, you can go 2 with specular, and you can even uncheck roughness and maybe create some like even more surreal look with low roughness parameter, basically high roughness parameter but low on the number side. And that's basically it. That's how I make my characters for my artworks. That's how I make my characters for design and all that. And hope it helps. And let me know what troubles you have in the comments below. You can DM me on Instagram, show me your work as well. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. There's a lot of cool content there. Don't forget to check out my Instagram account. I also have another Instagram account. I actually have 2 Instagram accounts where I post different things, and both of them you can see on your screen right now. So yeah, all of the social medias, you name it, I have it. But again, if you would like to support me, make sure to visit that Patreon page and see what's cool going on there. So thank you so much for watching. See you in another video. Hit that subscribe button so you'll not miss any videos, and maybe even consider hitting that like button as well. And thank you so much for watching once again, and bye.